Publicity by Whitney Alvarez. Publicity is defined as notice or attention given to someone or something by the media. Publicity plays alongside public relations in a company, but the two are very different topics. It is a type of short-term advertising for a company that cannot be controlled by the company itself. Most publicity is not paid for by the company, but is typically ruled by the media and has the power to make or break a company. Publicity's power. Publicity is similar to word-of-mouth advertising in the fact that it can spread like wildfire by people sharing or simply talking about it. The problem here is the fact that publicity cannot be controlled by the marketers. It can only be contained or fixed after the fact. Because publicity is controlled by the media, it is easy for a story to get twisted out of control. For example, back in 2017, Snapchat was trying to pay tribute to Bob Marley by creating a filter that merged his face with the face of the user. However, this backfired tremendously when users began feeling like this was a racist filter that allowed white people the opportunity to appear black for a day. What started as a tribute turned into a PR nightmare for Snapchat because their idea quickly became twisted. Snapchat chose to ignore the problem and let it pass over instead of risking their words getting twisted yet again if they had gone out and apologized. While publicity can be negative, there is also many forms of positive publicity out there. Back in 2012, Red Bull sponsored the Stratospace jump. Felix Baumgartner became the first person to break the sound barrier when he jumped from the stratosphere a whopping 23 miles down to Earth. The entire stunt was conceived, produced, and broadcasted by Red Bull, and had over 8 million live viewers on the day of the stunt. This was positive publicity not just for Red Bull, but also for YouTube. Whether or not publicity is positive, there is no such thing as bad publicity. Or is there? Publicity is one thing that can have a direct effect on sales and also company image. Sometimes, bad publicity can even lead to a court case for the company. But people may argue that with all the negatives, any type of publicity still gets the company's name out there. Over the summer, Nike did an ad campaign with Colin Kaepernick after him going unsigned this year because he refused to stand during the national anthem. He was doing this in protest of police brutality and social inequality, and even inspired some of his teammates to do so as well. The ad reads, "Believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything," and that is just what Kaepernick did. Many people were outraged that Nike hired him even after everything that happened. People destroyed their Nike gear in protest. But at the end of the day, while their stock fell about 3%, their sales actually rose over 30%. They still came out a winner, even with the controversy and the negative publicity. Many marketers try to control publicity for their company by releasing news stories before the story has time to be twisted by the public. But this can only help so much. Typically, if the company comes clean about scandals and issues before the information is made public, they can lessen the impact on the company. But if they don't, then everything tends to go crazy. The BP oil spill back in 2010 is a perfect example of this. Instead of coming clean about the severity of the oil spill, BP tried to cover up the mess by saying it was 1/5 as bad as it really was. But in doing this, they were digging themselves an oil well-sized grave. Their stock prices fell by over 50%, and their credibility was severely tarnished. They also had to pay $19 billion in fines to the states that were affected by the spill. If they had tried to get ahead of the media and come clean about the severity of the spill and what really happened, their stock prices may still have fallen some, but their credibility would have at least stayed intact, and it might not have been nearly as severe. Publicity is a powerful tool for companies, but it also has the power to make or break them. A company cannot both dance on eggshells and take risks. They need to watch their back. You never know what can cause a scandal that the company cannot recover from. Thank you.